Welcome to English Podcast. Subscribe our channel for more update.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the show that cuts through the noise to get you those key bits of knowledge, the things you really need to know.
Making sense of it all.
Exactly. And today, we're tackling something pretty fundamental, actually. It's all about how we share our past.
Storytelling.
Yeah.
Our personal histories.
Right. I mean, think about it. How much of your day involves talking about what you did yesterday or last weekend or even, years ago? What you saw, how you felt?
It's constant, isn't it? Our lives are basically stories we tell ourselves and others. And being able to talk about the past clearly in English, well, that's crucial for connection.
Absolutely. So our mission today in this deep dive is to give you the essential tools for doing just that. We're drawing from mastering the past tense in English.
But we're not just listing rules.
No, definitely not. We want to get into the why so you can feel confident telling your own stories, making them, vivid and clear.
And it's maybe less about memorizing and more about understanding the patterns. We'll look at the main rules, sure, but also some common trip-ups. Make it feel more intuitive.
Okay, let's dive in then. Where do we start? The easiest part.
Makes sense. Let's start with the friendly foundation. Regular verbs.
Friendly, I like that. Why friendly?
Well, because they follow a really simple, consistent rule. You basically just add ed to the end of the verb to make it past tense.
Okay, so give me an example. If today I walked to the park.
Then yesterday you walked to the park. See, just add ed.
Right. Or if I play soccer today.
Yesterday you played soccer.
Okay, got it. So if I talk to my friend now, yesterday I talked to them.
Exactly. It's that predictable quality that makes them a great starting point.
So for everyone listening, think about, say, last night. Maybe you watched a movie. Or maybe your cat jumped on the sofa this morning. That happened to me.
Classic cat move. Or maybe you cleaned your room yesterday.
Hopefully. But yeah, those are all regular verbs in action, simple descriptions of past events.
It really helps build that foundation, doesn't it? You can immediately start talking about your day.
But then you get the rebels.
Yeah.
The verbs that just don't follow that nice ed rule.
Ah, yes. The shape-shifters.
The shape-shifters, okay. The irregular verbs.
That's them. They don't play by the ed rule at all. They change in all sorts of different ways.
Why, though? Why can't they just be simple?
It's actually fascinating. Many of the most common irregular verbs are incredibly old, like linguistic fossils from Old English.
Really?
Yeah. They existed before the ed ending became the standard way to make verbs past tense, and they just resisted the change. They kept their original past forms.
So they're stubborn old verbs.
You could say that. Think about go. It doesn't become go, it becomes went.
Right, and have.
Becomes eat becomes ate.
Okay, see becomes saw.
Yep. And drink becomes drank. They each have their own unique transformation.
Wow, linguistic fossils. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah. So I wanted to use these shapeshifters to talk about my day. I could say something like, I went to the store. I had dinner with my family.
Yeah.
I saw a weird bird this morning.
Or I ate an apple.
And I drank some water. Okay, that really opens things up.
It does. And focusing on the most common ones, like those, gives you a huge boost in what you can express about the past. You just have to learn their specific forms.
Okay, so we've got the actions covered, the regular ed ones, and the irregular shapeshifters. But stories need more than just what happened. They need when.
Absolutely. Context is key. And that's where time expressions come in.
Time stamps for our stories.
Exactly. They pinpoint the moment. Think of basic ones like yesterday.
Or last week, last month, last year.
Right. Or using ago, like 2 days ago, 3 hours ago, 10 minutes ago.
Okay, so you combine these with the verbs. I traveled to France last year.
Perfect. Or I cleaned my room yesterday.
Hopefully.
So I'm hoping. Or I finished my project an hour ago.
See how much clearer that makes it? You know exactly when these things happened. Without them, it can get a bit confusing. Definitely. Okay, let's make this even more practical. Think about common conversations, like bumping into someone on Monday morning.
The classic, how was your weekend? Or what did you do last weekend?
Exactly. How do we answer that using what we've learned?
Well, you'd mix and match. Maybe you use a regular verb. I watched TV and relaxed.
Or an irregular one. I went to the park.
And had a picnic. Combining them.
Right. Or I visited my grandma and we talked for hours. That uses both types.
Precisely. You could build a slightly longer story, too.
Like last Sunday, I went to the beach. We swam in the ocean, played in the sand, and ate ice cream later.
That paints a really nice picture. You're layering different past actions together.
And another topic we talked about all the time is food.
Oh, constantly. What did you have for breakfast? What did you eat for dinner?
So we'd use those irregular verbs again here, right?
Mostly, yes. The key ones are eat becoming ate, drink becoming drank, and have, when you mean eating a meal, becomes had.
Simple enough. I ate tacos for dinner.
Sounds good. I drank coffee this morning.
Definitely did. I had cereal for breakfast.
See, these are phrases you'd use pretty much every day. It's about applying the patterns directly.
Okay, so we can talk about actions we did, but sometimes we need to describe how things were. Like describing a scene or how someone felt. How does that work?
Good question. This adds another layered description and state of being, not just action. Let's say you went to a party.
Okay.
You can list your actions. I danced, I talked with friends, I ate cake. Regular and irregular verbs there.
Right.
But to describe the party itself or how people felt, you need something else. You might say, the music was loud.
Okay. Not an action, but a state.
Exactly. Or, we had a great time. Using had again. But crucially, you need the past tense of the verb to be.
Which is, was, and were.
That's right, was and were. They let you describe conditions, feelings, locations in the past.
And there's a rule for when to use which, isn't there?
Yes. It's pretty clear-cut. You use was for singular subjects, I, he, she, it.
So, I was happy, he was late, the party was fun.
Perfect. And you use were for plural subjects, we, they, and also for you, even if you're talking to just one person.
Okay, you were there. We were excited. They were tired.
Exactly. So going back to the party, the music was loud, describes the music. My friends were happy, describes your friends.
Got it. That really helps to, set the scene, adds color.
It absolutely does. It moves beyond just listing actions to painting a fuller picture.
Okay, one last big piece then. We know how to make statements about the past. How do we ask questions about it?
Crucial for conversation. The key here is the helping verb did.
Did. Okay.
For most verbs, to ask a simple past tense question, you use did, then the subject, then the base form of the main verb, not the past tense form.
That's important. So the main verb doesn't change.
Correct. Did does the work of showing it's a past tense question, so the main verb stays in its simple base form. Think of it like did absorbs the past tense.
Okay, that's a really common mistake, isn't it?
Yeah.
People saying things like, did you went?
Exactly. It should be did you go? Because did already signals the past. You don't need went.
Right. So, did you eat breakfast? Not did you ate.
Perfect. Or what did you do last night? When did she arrive? The main verb stays simple. Eat, do, arrive.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did carries the past tense marker.
Understanding that rule of did is really key to asking questions correctly and naturally.
All right, so we've covered a lot. Regular verbs, those irregular shapeshifters, adding timestamps, using was and were for descriptions, and now asking questions with did.
Quite the journey through the past tense landscape.
So now, the payoff. Bringing it all together to actually tell a little story.
This is where you see how all the pieces work together.
Yeah, like this. Yesterday, I woke up early, ate breakfast, and walked to the library.
Okay, irregular, irregular, regular. Good mix.
I read a book for 2 hours, then met a friend for coffee.
Irregular, irregular again. And a time phrase for 2 hours.
We laughed and talked a lot. Regular verbs. It was a great day.
And there's your was for description. See? It flows together. Woke, ate, walked, read, met, laughed, talked, was. It paints a whole sequence.
It really does. Here's another one, maybe about that beach trip.
Sure.
Last weekend, I went to the beach with my family. Using went.
And a time expression last weekend.
The sun was shining and the water was warm. Using was twice for description.
Setting the scene nicely.
We played, swam, and later ate ice cream. irregular actions. It was so much fun. Ending with was, again, to describe the feeling.
Perfect. Those examples really show how combining these elements lets you create a narrative, a snapshot of your past experience.
It's not just grammar rules anymore. It's actually communicating something meaningful.
That's the goal, giving you the tools to share your life.
So, wrapping up this deep dive, we've gone from simple adverbs to tricky irregulars, learned to pinpoint time, describe scenes with was and were, and ask questions with did.
And hopefully shown how it all connects to let you tell stories.
It's quite a powerful set of tools when you think about it.
Absolutely. It's the foundation for recounting pretty much anything that's happened to you.
So the takeaway for you listening, don't just let this sit there.
Practice. Application is key.
Right. Try it out today. Tell someone what you did this morning, or maybe write down a little story about your weekend using these past tense forms.
The more you use it, the more natural it becomes. It shifts from being a rule you remember to just how you speak.
And maybe think about this too. Mastering the past tense isn't just about getting grammar right.
No, it's much bigger than that.
It's about unlocking your own stories, isn't it? Sharing who you are through what you've done and experienced.
Exactly. It's about connecting with people by sharing those narratives. Every time you tell a story about your past, you're kind of adding a little piece to the picture of your life and maybe finding new ways to connect with others through those shared experiences. It builds understanding.
A richer way to share your personal history. That's a great thought to end on.
Keep practicing, keep sharing.
Until next time on The Deep Dive, keep exploring and telling your stories.